Hello, Ken Laos here. Today, I want to show you what is solver. Well, first, I have a solver, right? This is how it looks like the solver parameters dialog box, right? It has some values here. I'm going to click reset all to clear all of them. Okay, so it's by default, it's nothing there. So before you use a solver, you need a model. So the different interesting things between the solver is that they solve real world example because everything that we have there is a limitation, a constraint, right? For example, here a restaurant will have a limitation in terms of the customer per day. So you key in this blue area, right? For example, on Monday, well, based on the statistic, it says 185 of customers will visit on the Monday and 250 on a Tuesday. That's not really right. Um, we can just change that to right 190 then. This is 180, and this become say Wednesday on certain days there are more customer, and this become 400, maybe 358 and 60, and these are all based on your calculated statistic where you and do a pure table you can find this out. So next is say about on the Fridays people spend more, so it becomes 490. And on Saturday it comes to the maximums of the week, it becomes 587. So how about on the Sunday it slide it reduced slightly, right, to say 500 and 500 will do. So we have formulas to determine the staffing demands. These are simple staffing demands by using the total staff, right, the customers per day divide by the staff to customer ratio, right. So let's say on a Monday at 180 staff, 180, or how about 140 customer per day. So it takes two employee, right, to serve 140 because one employee will serve roughly 70 customer. So that is the idea of this, right? So or if we're using five staff, right, on all of these on each of this schedule, right, then there will be total of 15. So on the Monday we use 10 staff, right, but actually you only need two staff to serve 140. There will be another eight staff that are standing there doing nothing. So the idea of solver is to find out not by manually but by using these tools called solver to find out the minimum payroll per day for each of these day in a week. So let's find out what is that. Let's click on the solver. Now first you got to check a cell, right? You want Excel to change this value and you want to find a mixtures of this information and to get a minimum value. So you want Excel to find a minimum value. Well, if there's no constraint, then you have to change certain value. So the certain value could be since you can't change the customers per day, right? These are uncontrollable by you, right? You can change. The only thing you can change is the number of staff on each of this schedule. So you want Excel to find out the minimum value, right? If there's no constraint, then of course, right, put average 000, right? Then you don't even have to pay a single cent. But they are a constraint because you need to consider this value, right? You gotta find out this value. Is it um, greater or equals to this day? Yeah. Um, well, yes, there's a greater on this thing, right? And we can click add because lesser than these two stuff, right? Then let's say they put their one Excel get a one stuff, right? Then this will be lesser than the two, right? So then one stuff we have to handle 140 people. That would be quite crazy. Let's do the same for Tuesday. This day it must be greater than staffing demand. Let's click add. And on the Wednesday it must be greater than the this day. So that's both are on column E, right, which is from Wednesday. Click add. Thursday, add. Friday. There's an error, right? So we'll change that later. G. Column G. G7, add. And H must be greater than these 8 days and add. And we got this day. On Sunday, add. And finally, since this is the last one, we can just click cancel. You have for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 days constraint is being written there, right? And there is some error that we make on the column F, right, which is on the Thursday. So let's just click this and change it. So change that, click OK. So or this, right? So at the point we have already stated the constraint, right? Let's just click solve, see if we can find out some good value minimum payment. So currently it's 750, right? We are deploying the maximum number of stuff on each days, right? uh let's click solve, see what Excel give us. Do we have a value? Well, we do have, right? From 750 it reduced to 407, right? And each of these total staff is 4, and the staff demand is 2. But since that we can't change much, right? Because if it changes to 1 and this changes to if it's just 2 and 2, right? Then it might not fit here because on schedule 3, right, there's always 1 day off, right? If you change this to 2, then you can't, right? Change it to 2. So let's just click OK, right? But there's one more thing here, right? We can't um, have 4.14 stuff, so it must be an integer. So let's just add one more, right? Each of these value here, right? That it must be integer. Let's just add one more. Let's cancel. Right? So we have one more, right? And a most important thing is that uh, you can't have a zero staff on this schedule. You must have at least one or two staff here as well, right? So we're gonna use that to. We're gonna add one more over here. So it must be greater or equals to zero staff. Or you can have zero stuff, but you can't have a negative stuff, right? Add. Oh, cancel. Okay, let's just solve this, right? From 407, see what will change then. Okay, it's 450, right? So you need 6 stuff on schedule 1. Schedule 2 is simply don't need. So we just need 9 stuff, which have schedule 1 and schedule 3. Okay, so that is one. But if you want schedule 2 people there as well, so that you can say, but yeah, actually you don't need to. Well, every day we'll have 2. These are the 2, 2, 2. Well, if you have 2, but if you have 0, you're gonna be 3. Or there's 3 stuff on this day, so that's why you don't need to schedule 2. Okay, So that's it, right? This is a simple solver parameter. It helps you to find a minimum payroll, right? Take a look, right? If this is working fine for you. Next, it's about oh, having two set of configuration. Right, so I'm going to click on this loot for to save the current configuration, current constraint, the number of constraint. Let's just click loot, and we're going to select this cell and click save. Right, to save, select an empty range. Right, they need a 13 cell. Right, this is determined by Excel. Right, you just need to select the first cell and watch what Excel do. See, it has these numbers there, right? But don't worry, right? The Excel will know what to do, but you don't have to know what is it. Next is that we're gonna change this criteria so that we want to have two stuff for each schedule, right? Not zero. So we're gonna just click OK. So it must be at least two stuff. So I got two stuff, and we're gonna click solve. So what happened? Right, C622, right? So auto total of 10, right? So it's 500 for that. So just click OK. Right, at this point, I'm going to save this configuration as well, right? And to save this, I choose a different area, right? I have already the label there. So it's on O2 and click save. So currently the constraint is based on at least two stuff. So I can quickly switch back to this zero stuff, right? To by clicking the load and clicking on this loading. So before I load, I need to select the range and click load. Okay, and you click replace. So click load one time and then click replace. And notice that it is now based on these one differences, right? Where uh, the number of staff, right, must be greater than or equal to zero. So that's up to I hope this will help you to learn about solver, right? Well, I learned this from another guy in called Pivot Table Guy, right? Pivot Table Guy taught me about how to loading and saving solver scenario. Thank you for Pivot Table Guy, and thanks for watching this. This is this can be used by Malaysian restaurant. Thank you.